Hello, welcome Simon's Trading Channel. Happy Monday to you. It's the start of a week and I'm so pleased to see some green daily candles there, right up there on Bitcoin's chart. I've got some interesting muses for you, some interesting thoughts to share. Musings. I think the phrase is musings. Anyway, enough of the grammar, be it correct or incorrect. Yeah, I hope you're all well, and if you enjoy the video, please like and subscribe. That would be marvellous. And you can join me every day. Do this every day of the week. And I'm going to keep doing that until somebody stops me. Right, so there's a few lines on this chart. You're probably thinking to yourself, Simon, why? Why so many lines? I thought you'd like to keep your chart simple, Simon. Well, I do. Because with a name like Simon, if you don't keep things simple, then you're ruining the phrase. So far be it from this humble chap to ruin a well-established phrase like Simple Simon. I don't need to comment on the momentum at the moment. So basically these are two support resistance lines that I've put on. It's very easy to see why I've put them on. So remember, support resistance line is exactly that. And it becomes support when the price is above it and resistance when the price is below. And you can see this blue line, support, 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 resistance, and then prices back above it. So I would expect it, if it is challenged again, and it's basically 60,000, probably should have pointed that out. If it is challenged again by Bitcoin, it acts indeed as support. That would be my presumption. I may be wrong. The top one is another support resistance line. Not so clear at the beginning of the range of doom, but since here you can see resistance, broke through, support the whole way along here, and then broke back through. And it hasn't been challenged since then, but I'm going to suggest that maybe it will be resistance as Bitcoin approaches from below. Oh yes. Now that one's at 67.5, okay? And I'm going to talk about these areas a bit more in a moment, but I just wanted to cover the green box. Because the green box is there for a reason. And the green box is there for a few reasons. You can see the top of the box. Top of the box is in line with the support resistance line. And the bottom of the box basically comes in at these wick closures and opens, or closure and open. And then this resistance line / area here. It's also a bit more significant, and I will show you by switching between Bybit and CME. So this is Bybit, okay? Now don't take your eyes off the screen and watch the difference when I then switch on to CME. Aha, I changed the scale. How annoying was that? So what you will find is that, let's see if it'll work the other way around. Bear with me. So that's CME, switch back. There's Bybit. I don't know if you can see it, but basically this green box occurs where this gap is. So in numerical terms, it'll be very similar. So you can see the top is just 60,000. The bottom is, call it 58. So if you go then back over to CME, you can see this was the weekend gap. So you get gaps on charts of all descriptions, not just Bybit, any chart where trading ceases on one exchange. So this is CME, but continues elsewhere, and then the price moves significantly from where CME, in this case, closed to where it then reopens. So that gives you a gap, right? Now the point there is, and there's no double entendre here, so if you find one, you have to ask yourself the question why. Gaps like to be filled, all right? So just bear that in mind. Gaps like to be filled. And so you can see here, sorry, 58 to, that's more like 61. just a bit higher than, slightly higher than my green box over here. But nonetheless, that's where the gap is on CME, roughly within this green box. Therefore, if Bitcoin does pull back, and I'm almost certainly will at some point, I think it probably will before it gets up to here, I would expect it to get some support. If not at the support resistance line that's in blue, then within the green box territory, so which is also the CME gap. So something along the lines of, now I'd like to know who's stolen my brush. There we go, let's get Picasso on it. So let's just say that Bitcoin turns down from where it is. I would expect this sort of business. Now, that may not happen and my expectations could be ruined by Bitcoin, but indeed if it does happen, that to me is much more significant than even just this move up, because that, as you can clearly see now, gives Bitcoin, ta-da, the all-important for change of trend, higher low. So we've got a low and then a higher low, and clearly the reverse is the case for a downtrend. So yeah, that sort of move, it won't look anything like that, I doubt, in real life, but this little green box would be an area that I would be looking for Bitcoin to put in a daily higher low, thus confirming change of trend since the beginning of June. Now, oh man, why do I feel like I was spurting out information then? I don't know. The momentum you see has turned to the upside significantly, but it's still fairly far away from the zero line. And so I'm going to take that as a pinch of salt, that number. 4 hours still above, so I'm not going to take it to that. And then the next thing I want to point out, wow, this video is just busy today. I hope you weren't expecting a nice relaxing Monday. What do? I do price action analysis, that's right, because today is not a quiet one. The Fibonacci retracement from this top to this bottom does pick out some of those areas. So you can see the 382 is basically the support resistance line, the blue one. The 0.5 corresponded to these highs, which Bitcoin busted on through. Hasn't had a daily closure above yet because there's still 4 hours to go. But it would be good if Bitcoin could close above 62,000. Then you can see the 618, which you would expect if Bitcoin isn't going to just bust on to the upside from here, a pullback somewhere around, then that's more or less where Bitcoin got up to. And that was at sort of 64,000. So that's why I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin does kind of just come back a bit from here and then put in the all-important higher low. What's also of interest is if I put on a couple of the other Fibonacci levels, which I tend to ignore, but I just happen to notice that on this Fibonacci retracement, the 0.786, which is the next one above, comes in right on that support resistance line, which is 67.5. So, yeah, interesting. 236, not massively significant for this daily time frame. Wow, how many minutes is that? 9 minutes of me going absolutely insane with the information. I hope it's been of use and not too much. I'm sure I don't mean in a derogatory manner, but more in a, I hope it's not been too annoying, I hope it's been useful. And on that note, I'd like to again thank you for joining me and invite you back tomorrow because I'll be doing another one for Tuesday. Take care, enjoy the rest of your Monday, give me a like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.